Hey, everybody, welcome back to another fun Friday, freaky Friday, fantastic Friday, whatever your Friday's doing for you. It is Black Coffee, Honey, and Gets and Grits. And ladies, you know what it is. We are the Black Coffee. Our lips drip with honey. Sometimes we got grits, always got sass class and all that ass. Today, who knows? Might be a little gritty, might be a little sassy because we're talking about our hair. I am not my hair. Like NDRE said, right, we're going to get into it. All right. So I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves and then I will introduce myself last. Dr. J.
I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, speaker, author, all the things, and 1/3 of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Carmel?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Coach Carmel. I work with folks who have a food and sugar addiction, and we use a plant-based approach, a plant-based lifestyle in order to combat the chronic conditions that come along with those addictions as well. And I'm here to encourage everybody to add more plants to your plate. Go ahead, Maisha.
More plants, more plants. And I am Debbie Maisha. I am the founder of Black Lotus Tantra, sex magic and tantric teachings for the healing power and liberation of Black women, which is so needed in this moment. So thank you all and welcome for joining us. So this topic, right? I mean, and literally probably could talk about Black women and our hair for a whole day. There's whole symposiums on it. Lots of information coming out lately, more mainstream about the side effects of using synthetic hair. Now, there are those of us who have known for a while that synthetic hair just wasn't the move. And whenever you get your hair braided, you kind of smell the chemicals when they're burning the ends. Like you can smell that there's plastic just in the air. But now we have some real concrete proof about the carcinogens and the lead that are in these products that are being sold and marketed to Black women. So before we get into like some of the, the science of it, let's just talk about our hair for a minute. We know that braiding our hair is cultural. It was with us, before we were snatched up and brought on over here to deal with this buffoonery. So we've been braiding our hair for the longest time. Braids for us are not only a signifier of beauty, they were also a signifier of status, the village you came from, the family you came from, the amount of wealth that you had. And even here in this country, our braids could be used as a map to find our way to freedom. Our braids were how we were able to bring over rice and other things braided into our hair before we got over on those ships. So much in the history of Black women's bodies, but our hair in particular, down to the styles that we wore as little girls and the braids that we had. So before we get into this stuff, I thought it would be just fun, just popped into my mind. Let's talk a little bit about your favorite style as a little girl. Was it braided? Was it the hot comb?
Ooh.
What did you enjoy most?
For me, I do want to say braided styles when I was younger, braided styles with beads. Like I had to have some beads up there. And I don't need all the matching beads. I want the colors. I want different colors. But that's just me. Y'all know that about me. And then as I got more towards maybe 5th, 6th grade, I wanted the cornrows, but they had to be, you add the hair, that. And then as I got into high school, I wanted the individuals with the, how you braid it halfway and then let it go, braid it halfway, let it go. But I'm going to be honest, I have always favored, number one, ethnic styles. Number two, which is a kind of an oxymoron, but I have favored ethnic styles, but I've favored them with added hair.
Okay.
And I want to say
like volume.
Yeah. Volume, length.
Yeah.
And I think that's like me having that alter European ego, right?
Right.
So, all right, I gave y'all a lot to chew on. You didn't ask for all that.
No, yeah, that's great. That leads into another piece, but go ahead, Carmel.
So we grew up, our hair was always sectioned off. So we didn't have two ponytails, or we didn't have one ponytail. We had like eight. Like we ate. That's how we walked around. That was how my mom combed our hair. That's how my cousins were. That's how every little Haitian little girl and just had all of these. Yeah, okay. So that's how we grew up, and it was fine. I didn't think one way or another about it, but we wore our hair like that well into the 7th grade. Like, and we were just kind of like,
Oh wait, yeah. Where'd Carmel sound
phone
go?
call was trying to come.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry, phone call was trying to come. So we were the youngest in my generation of cousins. So we were always the little ones. So the babies in the family. So we stayed babies, including our hair, right? But when we got a little bit older, my mom straightened our hair very, very early. We were 7 years old when my mom put that white stuff in our hair and made our hair straight. And we always got complimented. Your hair is so long, your hair is so pretty, your hair is so straight. And so we just loved the straight look. So into high school, we started looking like that European look, the whole, who was that? The girl from Friends.
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston. I was rocking that look in high school or in college, whenever that was, when that was big. Yeah. So I liked the straight look, and I was just kind of like, I was all about it. This was me. Look, this is all my hair. I didn't have any, like, this is me. Like, my nose was way up in the air with it. But and then we started wearing braids. But something interesting happened when we started wearing braids. My father was deathly against it, and my mother was just like, she didn't want to tell us no, but she was not a fan of it. Why? Because the only people who wore their hair in braids back in Haiti were the maids and the servants. They're
really?
Yeah. Haitians, their noses were way up too. They were trying to, do that European look. Or they wrap their hair. They would rather wrap their hair up, but we never walked out the house in our hair with our hair wrapped. If our hair was wrapped, if I saw somebody with wrapped hair, I'm like, why are they coming out like that? That's how you go to sleep. Right? So we were like, nobody sees you with a scarf on your head. We don't do that. So my mother was just like, poor people in Haiti wore their hair like that because they didn't have the time to get their hair done. Dad was just like, why is their hair like that? And he was mad until we were adults, like 18, 19 years old, and he couldn't say anything after that anyway. So we really got into braiding our hair up until now. I'm 32 years old, and I'm just kind of like, I'm done with all of this. I want a fro. And so I was like 32, 33 when we decided to stop putting that white stuff in our hair, stop straightening our hair. We did the whole hot comb thing too. And now I'm a curly girl, and sometimes not, and sometimes braids. And I just love the versatility of what I can do with my hair. I could be straight if I want, and I could be curly if I want. And I could be downright kinky if I want.
Yeah, look at that. I don't know. We talking about hair, sexual orientation. I don't know, but it all works for me. I could be straight. I could be curly. So I always love hearing about stories from, hair stories actually from people from different backgrounds in different places. And the United States is a very large country. So growing up on the West Coast is like growing up in another country in some ways. People don't realize how large our country is versus like the little European countries, right? And so there are differences across just the 50 states that we have. For me, hair, let me see. My mom was not like a hair doer. All right. So we either had like a ponytail, or we had two pigtails and one in the back, or one in the front and two in the back. But that was her. She was doing 1, 2, or 3. And that was pretty much the end of that. One of our neighbors, she braided hair. And so she would braid our hair, but it was just our hair. I didn't know anything about synthetic hair or extra hair until way later. So it was just our hair, and I was for the braids, and my hair was long, and so I was one of those with the swish and the braid, and you get to hear it clack clack back and forth, and all of that. And I wore my hair in braids or in some pigtail thingy until I started doing it when I was 12, and I still do the same daggone style to this day. 2 twists with 2 clips. Okay, y'all don't see me in the style. I started that at 12. It is my go-to when I don't know what I'm doing for the day. And there were no perms allowed in my home. The first perm I ever got, first relaxer, I was 15. This is after my parents broke up, because my father, how your father felt about braids, Carmel, is how my father felt about straightening hair. Okay. And so that was an absolute no in his home. But my mother was a little bit more lax. I think she kind of, to your point, Dr. Jamisi, I think there was something about her with the European look that's, that got into her head. Of course, it's hard to ignore that. I definitely wore my nightgown when I was 7 years old because I wanted to have long hair like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I wore my hoodies.
Yeah. Right. Like, I think that it, unfortunately, growing up, and that's all you see on TV. Yeah. I mean, it was either that or I was looking like Patrice Rushen, right, with like all the braids and the beads, which is cool. But I straightened my hair at 15, but I never kept a perm in, really. It was clear it was a little much for my grade of hair. I didn't like quite how it felt, because it started to feel like it felt like fake hair for me. The first time, I didn't do braids. I didn't do braids after I was a child, because, and I was telling my daughter this, I just don't have the patience. I do not want to sit for 8 hours. I don't want to sit for 4 hours. I don't like going to the salon at all, to be honest with you. I want to get in, and I want express service when I go get my hair done. So the first time I remember getting braids again was somewhere around 19 or 20. It had to have been Poetic Justice. And my behind, loved Janet Jackson. Of course, I love Tupac. And the braids look so pretty on her head. But no one told me how heavy those braids were in real life. So I had a whole head of all of that hair coming down to my waist. And then the next time I got my hair braided, I said, well, let me try human hair, because there were these commercials out there were like, it was Oh Diane, and it was I don't know if you remember, but it was like weaves. And for us growing up, I don't know about where, in New York City, weaves were a no. You got teased for having a weave.
You got bullied, you got called out. It was
that was the ultimate insult at the I remember, because I said that about this girl once, because she had tracks in her head. That was just like a no. So I was like, let me get my hair braided with human hair. But it was like, that was like, we don't do that. It's funny how times change. We don't do that. So, and after that, it's just been, I've either chopped it or just kept the curly chop. I've cut my hair off so many times at this point. It's a nothing to me. But it's interesting to hear about our hair journeys, and to really learn more about this hair that most of us, all of us, have been putting in our heads for so long. And just want to get the ladies' thoughts on this. So definitely read a little bit. I'm going to read a little bit about this report. It's on consumerreports.org. They did this. A couple of scientists have been talking about this for years. So I started learning about the issues with synthetic hair some time ago. I think the last time I got my hair braided with synthetic hair was 2019 or 2021. I didn't keep them in for more than 2 weeks. And that was another thing. I was like, I'm spending hundreds of dollars. I'm not keeping this stuff in my head. So I think that was the last time I got my hair braided. And come to find out, and I'll just read the top findings. Carcinogens or cancer-causing chemicals were detected in 100% of the samples that were tested. Just to know, they tested 2 samples of 10 popular synthetic hair brands. Carcinogens were found in 100% of them. Benzene, which can cause a kind of blood cancer, was detected in 3 of the products. And all of the samples also contained a probable carcinogen, methylene chloride. They tested for VOCs, and I don't forgot what that, and I just saw it today in the reel too, but I forgot what it means. So y'all can go look it up. VOCs were emitted when the braiding hair was heated to boiling, Just like if you dip your hair in a boiling water to seal the ends and get that silky feel about it. The longer the exposure, the greater the likelihood of negative health impacts to VOCs, including nausea, dizziness, nerve, and reproductive issues. In more extreme cases, lead was detected in 9 of the 10 products. Prolonged lead exposure can cause damage to the brain and nervous system, immune system suppression, reproductive issues, kidney damage, and hypertension. And again, exposure to heavy metals and VOCs has been linked to serious health issues, and research has shown that toxic chemicals and beauty products contribute to hormone disruption, respiratory problems, reproductive harm, and increased cancer risks. So I'm just going to stop there.
I'm trying to put it in the chat. I'm putting the consumer report so they can see it.
Okay, I'm just going to stop there and get your thoughts on this because, wow. Yeah, and it makes me think about our health as Black women and hypertension. Who knew? And it's like everybody's over here trying to cut back on salty food, but you got hair in your head and you're still trying to figure out why are things not working? PCOS, fibroids. I'm thinking about all of these things that we deal with disproportionately, and also the hair that we put on our heads. What are your thoughts?
I think it's something that we kind of like, oh, I heard something about that, and in one ear out the other, because we're so I don't want to say vain, but
we can say that. We really can. We can say that.
We are.
Right? And it's like, kind of like, well, I can take care of everything else. I'll watch what I eat. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll exercise. I'll be the good girl, but don't take my weave away type thing, right? Because I wear hair pieces on. There's no secret. I
have one on right now. So right?
And then it's kind of like, well, what's the likelihood that these things will affect me, and to what extent? So I'm going to give you an example real quickly. If I told you that there's a molecule that we all pretty much consume, but when we take it in excess, it can cause something called I wrote it down, hyponatremia, and it disrupts our salt balance in our body. And also, if too much gets to our brain, it can be fatal, right? And then what if I told you that this molecule that I'm talking about is water? Right? So it's kind of like, well, how much of these things, how much of these this synthetic hair do I have to be exposed to for how long, how much of it before it actually causes harm? And is that my justification for me to wear it? Maybe so.
So is it on the 15th time or the 20th? Like, how many more years I got?
Right.
So basically, what she's telling you guys is if you overdo anything,
that's right,
something that's good for you can end up being bad for you. That's so just water is what she's saying. Of course, if you have too much, the salt balance is going, you're going to be hyponatremic because there's no salt, and then other bad things will happen. But that means you're drinking over excess. Just like, I guess we need to be thinking about the balance of how much synthetic hair we use in our head. Now, does that also apply with real hair? Because I'm just wondering. I mean, I wear synthetic and real hair, but.
And they've got to, I'm sure there's a certain way that they treat the real hair so that it can actually, they've got to preserve it.
To preserve it. Some formaldehyde, something, right? Because hair does degrade. Right. So yeah, I'm sure everything is treated. And look, I mean, we're never here to tell you what to do. Maybe you decide to get your braids, a couple of times a year. I do have 2 resources for plant-based Black-owned companies that are creating. The Black-owned companies that are creating plant-based synthetic hair.
Okay.
Right, and so those.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think there's ever a way for us to use synthetic hair with no chemicals in it. It's synthetic, just the nature of that, right? But what we can diminish what we use, we can, get our hair braided a little less right? I don't know. Um, I mean, I love getting my hair braided, and I don't have the same hair that I had at 8 years old. So me just getting my natural hair braided, I'm looking like Chloe from Set It Off, and it's just that's not cute for me. Queen Latifah is gorgeous, but I'm just like that. Like I don't like cornrows because I don't, so I have to
Yeah.
wear a whole lot of extra makeup and lashes if I did that. So if
But
I'm getting my
I like
Huh?
cornrows with some added hair though. Like, you see what I'm saying? So
right,
add the hair and
right.
then send me to the Bahamas and then I'm all good. Right?
Right,
My
right.
little two
And so
pieces.
listen,
Yes,
won't even get into the long hair and the European influence. I think we're all clear at this point that in our psyche has been embedded and ingrained this idea that long straight hair is pretty. You'd be lying to yourself if you said that that was not the case. We fight against that all the time. It's why a
Yeah.
lot of us decided to stop getting perms or
Mhm.
going natural, and it's still a big deal for some people and some families to go natural. Like you're gonna
Oh
let your hair look
yeah.
like that? Your
Yeah.
hair's
Oh,
not
can I say
done.
something about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm natural. I've been natural for several years, many years. But when I first started wearing my natural hair, learning my natural hair, first of all, just so y'all know, it was a huge deal. It was a huge thing.
Mm.
And it was a huge thing because I was 40 years old. So this was 15 years ago. I was 40 years old and I had never done my own hair. I didn't have shampoo at home. I didn't have conditioner. I had nothing. I was going to the shop on a regular basis. They were getting my coins every week, every 2 weeks. I had nothing. I had no idea how to take care of my hair. I didn't even know what my natural hair looked like in its natural state, number one. And
Mm.
number two, when I first went natural, I was like, ooh, what am I going? I didn't even know at 40 years old, I didn't know how to do my own hair. Not because I'm not smart or talented. I had just never took control of my own natural hair. And then when I started doing it, everybody around me, every woman, every friend was like,
Yeah.
Wow.
what you all right? You good?
Yeah.
You all
I,
right? You
I
good?
had some.
My daughter was like, Mom, don't do it. Don't do it. I was like, I don't know if I can, but I'm going to do it. And when I tell you, I was doing potions and all this and all that, and I was working with this hair. And when I was not in love with it, I don't know if I'm still fully in love with it, but I
Mm.
definitely like it more than I used to. I know how to do my hair. I know how, but I don't really wear it in its full natural state because that does not appeal to me. And
Yeah.
I had to go through those stages to figure out what was I dealing with my hair.
Mm.
I was dealing with having to try to fit in to society, my thoughts about it, everybody else's thoughts about it. I just wanted to just like get out of my head, everybody. I'm going to try this. Hey, if you love me, stick around. If you don't, because of my hair, y'all, let me tell y'all, that is a huge issue with Black men and Black women about hair and how we do our hair, style our hair, wear our hair, whatever we do to our hair. So I don't know how we went off on that, but I'm just saying. I, I'm gonna throw some. I'm gonna throw some fake hair in. I do lean towards the more ethnic natural styles. Now that I have learned to like my hair, at least if you see that picture, that little cartoon picture of me up there, that's me with my natural hair out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to brand it because I don't ever want to forget that I should be proud of my natural hair. Anyway, I'm going to make myself cry. Anyway,
Oh.
that is what it is, though, y'all.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And it's funny that you say like your cartoon picture of yourself, because every time I take brand pictures, I want it in my fro. I don't
Mhm.
want
Mhm.
brand pictures of me in braids or straight hair or anything else, because I feel like that's just who I show the world, and it's not me. And my hair is textured and curly, and it's a big deal. And some people, imagine the women who have literally completely destroyed their hair trying to live up to the European standards and what society
Mhm.
expects to see of them. I know women, not just alopecia, but have literally destroyed their hair follicles, their scalp,
Yeah.
their hair, and only resort to wearing wigs and extensions. And you'll see these reels on TV, excuse me, on the internet, where somebody just has a ponytail that's maybe as big as my finger, and somehow some magician, beautician wraps it all around and gives her a full head of hair, and she's
Yeah.
crying. And it's just a big deal here, because we've been trying to conform so much to what we feel society, how we feel society wants to see us, and how we want to see ourselves. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Like I had on like a straight wig the other day, and I was like, ooh. I just I just went right back to that 8-year-old girl who was wearing the, like you
Mhm.
said, who was wearing the sweater on her head, just kind of like, oh, look at my hair, wanting my hair
Yeah.
to be completely straight, bone straight.
And let me
Mm.
let me just say this about that, Carmel. I have noticed that when I wear my natural hair flat ironed, I attract a certain type of black man. When I wear my natural hair or with a natural fade or in a natural style, I attract a certain type of black man.
Mm.
I have
Interesting.
also noticed, I know it's interesting, and there's so many facets and layers to this. I have also noticed that I feel differently with different hairstyles.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I feel accepted in circles with different types of hair. I remember my cousin was just kind of like, she's like, I know you like white men, so maybe you would get a boyfriend if you wear your hair straight. She said, maybe wear your hair straight. I'm like, it's the white guys that always love this. They're like, let me in there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
but just
sure.
like with, yeah, you feel differently in different circles with different types of hair. It's actually really incredible. Is that me? That's me. Yeah.
The last time I think, oh no, not this wasn't the last time. I wore a wig for oh, we were doing some type of dress up for something last tax season, and I had one of my mother's wigs, and so I was like, all right, I'll wear that today. And one of
What's
the
the dress up? What do you mean? It was like a
I don't remember why we were dressing up. Like it was like
oh,
some
you
day
mean
we
you
were doing
like an
a
event?
thing at work.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Did some like what do they call it? Spirit day, something like
Okay.
that.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
you dress up, you do something a little different,
Yeah.
and so I had on this wig. I mean, felt I feel very uncomfortable in wigs, very
Mhm.
uncomfortable, even for Halloween. And and but I remember one of the women, one of these tax pros. This one happened. She was from Russia or whatever. She was like, "Your hair looks so nice."
Mm.
And part of me immediately, I mean, I was like, "It's a wig, but thanks." And then part of me was like, "See, this is why
Mhm.
I want to just snatch that off, like, because you're telling me, it's like, wow, oh, look
Yeah.
at it, it's so straight. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness." I think the last time I had my hair straightened, um, was my 50th birthday when we actually did our brunch. We need to do a
Mhm.
brunch soon, y'all. When we did
Mhm.
our we did the brunch and I had my hair straightened for that period of time. And it was like it was fun. It's
Mhm.
fun for me. And then I miss my curls and I want my curls back. The one thing that I love about our hair is its versatility and the
Yeah.
fact that we can, be really curly, that we can be straight, that we can do all these braids and all these styles. That I wish everything wasn't trying to kill us.
Right.
But that is the one thing that I mean, there are a few things that I love about my hair. And let me be clear, like we all have different types of privilege or whatever. And for me, for sure, my grade of hair was one. I don't have the same stories that a lot of folks have. I got teased and accused of having a weave when my hair was braided, because there's this idea that Black people's hair doesn't grow. And so the idea that I would be a child and have hair past a shoulder or to a armpit, the other girls in my school were just like, that can't be your real hair. Right? And so there was that issue on that end, but I wasn't aware at that time of, I don't think I was aware of hair issues in our community and what all of that meant. I think until high school, when I got to high school and really started to learn about colorism and racism and all of those things, then I could understand and see better. But there are hair stories I don't have, just because of, all the plantation owner in my bloodline. So, because that's why. The DNA test said I'm largely Nigerian. Okay, so it's the plantation owners. I'm not thrilled about that, people. But so now we have the synthetic hair, and now the question is, what do we do? I'm gonna put these links in, and then y'all can share them as well. I found 2 sites that these are Black-owned companies. And these are plant-based or safer places to get hair. That means it's not going to be the, 3 for $10.
Right.
That you're going to pick up at the store. Okay. Let's just talk about that. But both of these are plant-based. I love the photos on their websites, though. By the way, when you go to the websites, I'm like, oh, absolutely. And I think that, Nuri hair is vegan. Huh? Okay. With human hair properties. Okay. Just listen. All right. And the other is is vegan friendly. No animal derived ingredients. Okay. So, I mean, I'm a try them, because sometimes I do want my hair braided. I don't keep my hair braided for more than 2 weeks, 3 max. I don't even know how long one can keep one's hair braided. Is it 4 weeks? 8
Oh,
weeks?
girl, please.
As long as you take care of them.
Yes.
For months.
Look at me.
I didn't have my hair up for like 2 months, maybe even 2.5. I know that sounds crazy, but I wash it, condition it, whatever,
Okay. All right. Look, see, I don't, no, nothing. I washed my hair this morning. I stuck some conditioner in it. I put my jojoba and castor oil in it, and that was it. I don't think I even ran a comb through this. It was curly. I just and that's it. I don't really know a lot about how to do hair.
Yeah. No,
I just let it do whatever it's doing.
I don't usually use a comb either. What I'll do is, I'll throw in all my products and I'll twist it and then kind of run my fingers through it. So but again, there's the versatility again. I could run a comb through it if I wanted to. I could put a brush in it. I could put one of those sponges that make it all curly. I don't know if you've seen those. Yeah.
And for me, the thing that I've learned through the years of being natural is that it's more about me and what I want and how I feel and what I desire to look like with my hair, whether that is in a natural style, whether it's with a European style, whatever. It's really about me, not anybody around me, not the man I'm with, not the job I'm on, none of that. I remember being approached by a high level, and I think I might have told y'all this before, a high level African American lady at work. She pulled me to the side and she was like, in her office, she was like, I just wanted to talk to you about, how is it that you wear all these ethnic styles with your hair and you still are able to be or able to get along with leadership or able to talk to leadership and leadership listens to you, stuff like that.
Wow.
And I believe that when you feel comfortable with yourself, when you are grounded and you know what you like or don't like, rather it just whatever you like or don't like, do that for yourself.
Yeah.
And as far as the synthetic hair causing cancer, we just need to be aware so that we can make the choices that we want to make for ourselves. Whether we want to still wear it, which I will, I ain't gonna lie, but I may limit now that I know more, right? I may limit, I may change, I may try some of these websites that are a lot more friendly to us. So that's all I wanted to say to anybody listening.
Oh, I love that.
I have a similar story where another Black woman told me, it's not a similar story to yours, Dr. J, because another Black woman told me, Carmel, since you're going natural, you're going to lose clients. And how dare you? How dare you assume that my clients who hired me to do a specific job hired me solely because my hair was straight and now they're gonna drop? How dare you? Like, right. And especially since the type of work that I do, I'm behind the scenes anyway. Nobody's ever gonna know that some girl with Afro hair pulled your permit for you. Like, what? But yeah, Dr. J, I feel the same. Now I feel like how I wear my hair is for me. This is how I like to see me. If I'm any kind of extensions, if I'm going to do any type of weaves or anything, it's going to be because I wanted to see myself look like that in that particular time. I still am very much into more of the curly hair. I feel like I was denied that as a young child, given that I had a perm at 7 years old. And we just spent our whole lives just trying to have straight hair. Now I just want to enjoy what we were initially, like how the hair is supposed to come out of my head as a Black woman. But I'm excited that you found those websites, Maisha, because although I knew that carcinogens have been found in these products that we wear all the time, I never went and started looking anything up to say, hey, what are my alternatives? Right. It was kind of like, oh, okay, I'll take my chances. As I'm sure many women out there are, they're just kind of like, you know what, it could affect me, maybe not, maybe so, but I only got one life to live and I want to be
roll the dice.
like you said, I'll just eat healthier. Okay, let me try to balance out the negative here with the positive over there. Yeah, the same. I mean, there would be times when I'd be like, I want to get my hair braided. And this is before I knew about the issues with the synthetic, but for me it was just like, nah, don't do it. And it's like I kind of would like to do something different. Then learning about the issues with it, I was like, I want to get my hair braided. I'm not gonna use that stuff. So, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I guess I'm just not gonna get any braids. And it really wasn't until a couple of weeks ago when like this is now becoming such a thing, at least on social media, that I saw under some woman's posts the other brands, and I was like, oh my God, I never thought to look for brands that were possibly not as toxic. So now that I know that they exist, I'm definitely gonna try them out. I don't know. There's something in me that I still can't do the hair pieces. Sometimes there's a part of me that's like, I'd like to try it, but my Black Power Panther parents are in my head, and I just like it. Just even if I put on a wig for Halloween, it just feels like fake. But there's like real cool things to do with added hair. I'll figure it out. But I'm gonna try these products.
I give myself, Maisha, all the celebrities do it. White, Black, Chinese, they all do it. They all have hair pieces in their hair for different types of movies and roles or whatever they're doing. So heck, I could be a celebrity too. I could have fun. Why do they have to be the only ones having fun?
Yeah, when people think the Kardashians, that's all their hair, and then it's like they see the episode where they're taking out the clips. I'm like, y'all think people are just born with this hair? No, they got all the extra fluff and stuff in there,
And some people,
for volume.
Are, but
Yeah. Whoever them's is. All right, ladies, do you have anything else to add to this? This is I want to keep it fun. Didn't want to get like dour, like we're all gonna die. But just keep a balance. Do what you're gonna do with your hair, and just be aware.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. The last thing I want to say about it is we're so, it's just interesting how Black women are so put in the spotlight about everything.
Yeah.
So I just want to say from us, from Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, we're not pushing anything on you one way or the other. The biggest thing is awareness, right? Like I said, I'm going to be 100% with you till the day I die. I will wear synthetic hair. However, I may ease up as I know better. I do better, right? So, I just want you guys to know that we're not here trying to judge or tell you what to do. We're telling you what we do. And as we learn more about things, we want to share them with you guys because we love you. We love you, Black women, Black men, Black community, all that. And remember, don't spend no money today. So after this, I'm going to take my hair piece off, put my scarf on, and lay down and watch TV.
No, that's right.
Because normally I go out and spend a little bit of money today. Got paid a little bit. I see my girls at the restaurant, whatever. Even though it's Mexican, I guess I'm giving the Mexican people the money. But then somehow the white people gonna get the money. Sorry, y'all. Somehow they're gonna get the money through taxes or something crazy. So I'm just gonna stay at home.
Yeah, go tomorrow. Go tomorrow.
Yeah. That's
I might hit up a Black-owned coffee shop today. Waiting to hear back from a friend.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not spending any money. Usually I'm on Amazon, but not today.
Nope.
Not all right, y'all. Today's a blackout. Black hair. Don't spend none of your Black money unless you're spending it with some Black folks. We will be back here next Friday for another edition of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, and we hope you join us live. Thank you for watching the replay as well. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all. See ya.